We are back. Quickest esports commercial breaks ever. We're back. That was very fast. Quick leg stretch, quick ad break, and we're getting ready to jump on into this match. We have some bios for these players.
That's right. So from No Dice Gaming, we will be seeing Spectre. We've seen him already today. He is a Grandmaster's Terran from the United States of America. He's currently playing for No Dice Gaming's Academy. He has high ambitions in StarCraft 2. He's beat many top players in tournaments and plays in regular LANs, always performing well. His first clan war ever, he reverse all-killed Team Gravity. So that's pretty impressive.
For those that don't know, Team Gravity is the winner of SC2CTL Season 1.
Mm-hmm. And we're a contender, but only made it to the quarterfinals, I believe, this year.
Yep.
In a fairly large upset. But for Integrity Gaming, we will be seeing Honeybear come out. You can find him at twitter.com/honeybearsc2. He's also at twitch.tv/honeybearsc2. He started playing StarCraft in Brood War at around the year 2000 and started StarCraft 2 in the Wings of Liberty beta. He got sucked into the SC2 scene by watching different casts and players streaming.
He got sucked in, literally.
Sucked in, like a vacuum cleaner or a black hole or a Dyson, which is a combination of the two. He decided he wanted to play against the best of the best, and that's when he decided to start playing competitively himself. He's had consistent growth over the past 4 years of play, got Grandmasters in 2012 on an alternate account, and continues to improve as time goes on.
I'm watching the players here in chat conspiring against us.
Oh my.
They're picking what colors they should be to confuse us.
Those jerks. They settled on red and pink, it appears.
Yeah, I think I caught them mid-change.
Uh-huh.
They were conspiring for orange and yellow, or pink and red, or sneaky snakes. But nonetheless, we're going into merry-go-round, the coolest map in the map pool, in my opinion.
It is a lot of fun.
Integrity Gaming's Barcode versus No Dice's Spectre. So it is going to be 2-1 in favor of No Dice. Getting all the things set up as we jump on into the game. In the upper right-hand corner, representing No Dice, wearing the color pink, it is Spectre.
And in the top left-hand corner, representing Team Integrity Gaming and wearing red carapace, it is Honeybear.
A lot of bears on Integrity Gaming.
There is a lot of bears. Panda Bear, me, Honey Bear.
Yogi Bear.
Is Yogi Bear on that team? I didn't think so.
But if I was to join their team, I would obviously switch my name to Yogi Bear.
Yep.
My son's favorite bear right now is Boo Boo Bear. He's pretty impressed with Boo Boo. He's pretty excited to get a couple of Boo Boo temporary tattoos the other time. We were doing some camping. It's good times. Yes, these two players are having a little bit of fun here at our expense. They're talking about 200 worker supply. I remember a time when me and someone else, I challenged to a all-probe fight, get to 200 probes in a fight. Or actually, no, it wasn't an all-probe fight. It was a pick your unit.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make a game. We're going to each pick one unit. And I said, you know what? Probes. I choose probes.
Actually, I think it was the opponent chooses the unit, and...
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, you chose Infestors for me, and I
it was you. That's right. I forgot about that. I thought it was someone else.
You have to make probes, and you're like, that's not fair.
That's not a unit.
And then you decide to agree to it. So
and it turned out to be about a 45-minute game that was really, really, really crazy.
It was funny. At any rate, these players keep going back and forth. I actually really like it on merry-go-round when you have like the top two spawning positions as opposed to the bottom one, for no reason whatsoever other than I just like the way that it looks.
It's easier to scroll between the two. It's easier to scroll left and right as opposed to up and down.
I just feel like it's very rare to have this. I mean, it's completely random, right? I mean, but it's just kind of fun at any rate. So we do see that spawning pool coming down. The gas is going down. Was started a little bit afterwards, so going to be getting that gas fairly early. I mean, you kind of see it one or two ways. You either go very gas sparse at the beginning of the game and just get tons and tons of bases right away. Don't see that as often against Terran, but it still does happen sometimes. Lots of queens for the defense.
Yeah,
and getting a later gas.
Well, we've got multiple Reapers here as he is sending that Reaper out to the bottom, and if he's not going to see this Overlord, but even if he did, it wouldn't be a telltale until he gets in there. But he's going to be going for multiple Reapers, probably because you have to go so far to scout it out. But I really like when you can get 3 and 4 Reapers out. It looks like he's going to be going for it. 3 and 4 Reapers out, you can get out in 2-shot drones, and that gets pretty scary really fast, especially if you're not prepared for it. Mm-hmm. And he has seen that he is not on the bottom side of the map, so now he's going to be headed up. 2 of these Reapers are going to come in at exactly the same time. It's just a little bit more tricksy for the Reapers to get in here because they do have to kind of... Oh, wow, those Lings almost got him cornered right as he jumped up there.
Yep, so he's going to be running around, taking a few shots from the Queen, but the 2 Reapers are there hanging out and doing some parkour together.
Yeah, 3rd Reaper is on its way out. Looks like a 4th is not going to be built. It is just rallied in the main base. He's busy microing his little heart out up here.
Yep, another Reaper heading across the map here. And, Honey Bear, I feel like he's been in this position a lot. He knows how to handle it. He knows what to do, and really hasn't lost a whole lot.
Yeah, and he's going to be coming up here with those 3 Reapers, and 2 of them are very, very low. Sorry, I'm just laughing at some of the things in chat right now. I should really stop looking at that.
You folks are silly. So 3 Reapers, kind of running home now, checking in that middle Zelnaga tower to see if he can spot any units doing some runaround. So good hold there by Honey Bear. Getting his other gas, resuming gas, mining or grabbing, I guess. But here come those Hellions.
Yeah, I was just doing a little swing around there to make sure there was actually a supply depot over there because it was not clear, but there is a reactor there for the Hellions and a tech lab going down, likely to be researching that combat shield, which we were talking a little bit, Stim first, all right? We were talking about has been a little bit delayed in some of these games to get some of those higher tech factory things out, but now there are a couple of Hellions as well as a Reaper out front here and a wall partially constructed of a command center along with more supply depots to keep those pesky bugs out.
Yep. 5 queens in total for Honey Bear, starting those evolution chambers at the top of the ramp. He's going to be ready for this coming up if he gets those in position. But right now, there's a clear line to get through for things if they wanted to, although they will take some decent shots. Looks like they're not going to, although they do clean up those ripe creep tumors. That does hurt.
Yeah, that does hurt a lot. And he's going to get the other 2 as he comes in. 1 shot, 2 shot, and does get it. Wow, that really hurts. 3, that's a lot of energy. 4 creep tumors go down.
Yeah, that's like 100 energy on queens.
Yep, and this heavy queen build is very Scarlet-esque. Watching the Red Bull Battlegrounds a few weeks ago, it's just so cool how she does this, and it seems like people have started doing a little bit more, getting like 3 to 5 queens early. It really is useful in holding off a lot of these early pushes, especially from Terran with these Hellions, because they just don't do a lot of damage to queens.
Wow, Honey Bear is just very aggressive in putting down these creep tumors. He's just like, yeah, you're right there. I don't care. I'm putting down creeps.
Well, and he was able to push it back with those queens. I mean, the Reapers and Hellions just can't take a lot of shots from them, especially... it's not really allowing the queens to get higher in the energy because they're forced to use their energy to put down more creep tumors, but especially with those transfuses as it gets a little bit later on, just let you be a little bit more thin on the defense to go for that tech or more units here as he's putting down a 3rd base pretty quickly without a lot to defend it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot over there. The creep is not there yet, so the queens are going to have a hard time getting there. So these units are going to have some free shots. There are some Lings, but they're going straight across the map. But looks like that group just decides not going to worry about that at all.
Open at the front. Goodness. The Hellions coming right in and roasting away at those Zerglings. They're just going to walk their way right up into the main base. Oh, man.
And the queen, all the Lings are being pulled back. The queens that were there for creep just continuing on their merry way. Now drones being pulled. And such great lines. Oh, but great surround there for those Lings, and all that's going to get cleaned up.
Watch the tires fly off of those Hellions. So how many workers were killed? It was 8. So that's not as bad as it looked, but there were a lot of Zerglings killed too. But the units lost is pretty darn even, 950 to 900. So I still feel like Honey Bear? Panda Bear?
Honey Bear.
I forget the Bears. Is going to be getting ahead here a little bit. There's not a lot to defend the front here, but he's not really wanting to step in. A Spire is on the way down. All the upgrades finishing at the same time. +1/+1 for both players. Spire is about to finish. Banelings are in production. 8 Banelings right outside the main base here. And this, oh my gosh, if he would have been on the ready, he could have just jumped right on in there without even the Banelings.
Yeah. It looks like Spectre Scan did see that that Spire in production, so he knows what's coming down the tracks. But there's the bus, the Banelings moving in. Almost all of them were spent, though, and the Marines cleaning up the rest, so Honey Bear getting right on out of there. But 3 supply depots do fall.
Yeah, that supply block Spectre pretty hard there, right at 81. He was in the negative there for a minute, but a supply depot finished up elsewhere and got him back to at least even. But that's that's kind of a big deal right now, where he wants to be producing a lot of stuff. Centrifugal Hooks is on its way. 10 more Banelings. This is what I like to see out of a Zerg. The quick, early, not really early, that's the wrong word, aggressive Zergling Baneling. And look at that creep, Gallegation. Look at that creep.
Yeah, it's getting quite far across the map, and that's what you love to see in a Zerg game, is just heavy creep spread, knowing everything that's going on at any given time. 2 Marines coming over to contest the Xel'Naga, but there are Queens, there are Zerglings, and Honey Bear is saying, this map is mine. Back off.
At this point, it's getting hard for Spectre to be able to do a whole lot because he can't really harass very well because of all the creep. I mean, he can kind of sneak up in this window on the top or the bottom, but the bottom is just a really long ways. The stem of the Marines is going to try and come around to these Queens and is going to take out all 3 of them, but and now pushing that creep back.
Yep, and so Spectre reclaiming territory.
I mean, he was getting a little bit overzealous there with the creep. I mean,
sure.
And not a lot to really defend it. So this clutch group of Marines is pretty easy to take. Oh, but he's trying to get it spread there before the scan goes down, but unfortunately it didn't work. Centrifugal Hooks is on its way, so those Banelings are going to be pretty quick.
Yeah, and only just now are Mutalisks coming out. That Spire's been done for quite some time, but he opted for some more Baneling play than getting the Mutalisks, and so now the count is going up to 9. And Honey Bear's got an interesting-looking Spire. It's kind of like a blueberry-looking thing. Different color than it normally is. It's at the natural.
Oh, wow. What in the world? Is that a glitch?
Could not tell you. But it's
wow.
blue.
Blueberry Spire.
So... But a large force of Banelings and Zerglings, a few Mutas, and they are going to be moving right on out. Looks like they're up to 13, 14 now, and they are rallying to the north, going to be heading across the map.
You know what they did, Gallegation? This is, it's a Dark Spire.
Aha!
4th base was attempting to go down here. That was a pretty aggressive 4th base out there, as there really wasn't anything to defend it and kind of wide out in the open. But Mute is heading into the natural expansion. Only 1 turret there. It's going to be easily taken out by the... Oh, or is it? All the SCVs are paying. Hero turret saves the day.
And Spectre now moving into the 3rd base. There is nothing here to deal with this, and the units are spreading out. And in anticipation for Banelings, this is going to drop. The Lings are running straight in. Banelings streaming behind and getting some. I mean, they're cleaning up the Marines, but not on good trades for sure.
Not on good trades at all. The units resources lost is double for Honey Bear as it is for Spectre right now, and the Mute is going to come in and clean that up. He needs to target those medevacs, but ends up cleaning out the Marines. He lost quite a few Mutas there, but still, the units lost is highly in favor of Spectre. But the issue is Spectre is on 2 bases right now. Main base is getting low, and he's got a ton of production. He's just not going to be able to keep this up for very much longer if he does not get another base.
Mm-hmm. So he looks like now that Spectre's army is moving once again across the map, and Honey Bear's Creep Queen is back there trying to regain some vision. That's going to get killed.
It is using up some scans here, I suppose, if nothing else, but there's a lot of medevacs here for the number of bio units that are here.
Drop in the main. Mutalisks are there to clean it up, but that is covering the advance of these Marines and Hellbats here.
So this is definitely a much more different play out of Zerg than we've seen so far today. Nice splits by Spectre, saving a lot of his units. Man, those Marines with those basically 1-to-1 numbers of medevacs to Marines doing quite a bit of damage to those Mutalisks, but able to push it back. The Mutalisks are going to catch up to the medevacs. Oh my gosh, he's going to be able to take out just about. Our Marines coming.
Yeah, Marines are stemming forward, and that's going to push Honey Bear back.
He did lose a lot of those medevacs, though.
Yep, only 3 remain.
Blue Flame is done now for the Hellions / Hellbats, so that is going to be a big deal to keep in mind, as there are a large number of Zerglings and Banelings. As I was saying, I really like this Ling-Baneling play here. Wow, this 4th base down here is very interesting.
Yeah, he keeps going for that. I'm not sure why he does that instead of the one on the high ground, but...
Spectre saw it, so, I mean... Oh, no, Spectre's apparently... Oh, he must have done something silly that we missed. No, good thing we missed it. Oh, the Banelings are in... Oh, the surround of the Banelings. Nice hit there. Taking out quite a few things, but the Zerglings are coming up. They're going to try and get on the backside of the Marines so the Banelings can come up, but no, they're going to be pushed back.
Yeah, I think that what was going on is he started to move all of his SCVs out of his base and lifted up his orbital command without actually having finished mining it out. Yeah. He is pretty low, but there are a decent amount of minerals still left there.
Yeah. Yeah, no big deal, but now Spectre is going to be moving across the map, and he's, like I was saying before the big engagement there, he has seen this base down here, so he knows that Honey Bear is going to be doing such a thing, but Honey Bear kind of has a spider sense that knows this is going to be coming down, and the Marines are walking in very exposed. The Banelings delegation.
Ooh, and those Zerglings are trying to get the surround. They are now getting there. And
wow. Look at all that green spit on the ground.
That's right. Those jelly pimples are popping all over the place.
So now going to be moving right on in. He's got quite the army composition here. 3-2 done for Spectre as he moves in, but it doesn't matter. These Banelings do massive damage. All these Marines have about 5 hit points each, if that. Moving in, Muta's doing quite a bit of damage as well. Banelings rolling in, caking out all of the SCVs. Wow, this is hard times here for Spectre.
It really is. He's got 1 Thor on the map, 9 Marines, and a Marauder. That is his army, and that's just not a whole lot. These Mutalisks are going to be able to do whatever they want, including take out that orbital command. Now moving into the main base, picking off some rallying Marines, and now these Zerglings and Banelings are moving forward, but does not get that wall up, so they are streaming right on in.
Yeah, he tried to raise the wall there, but and a nice dance party from the Zerglings there as they are expressing themselves very, very vehemently as they're going and taking out expansion after expansion. All the SCVs going down, and victory for Integrity Gaming's Honey Bear.
That is correct.
So delegation, that is going to bring this back to 2-2.
2-2. So there are still at least 2 games left. That means we are guaranteed a Game 6. But if it goes back and forth again, then we could end up at a Game 7, so a longer match this time, and we love to see that.
Yes, we do. So I'm just marking down on my sheet here what's going on. These nice brackets and stuff set up for our semifinal matches that were already predetermined. But you know, we're in uncharted territory here.
That's right.
But so I mean, that was a really cool game. That's the Zerg game I've wanted to see all day. We've seen Roach Hydra, Roach Hydra, Roach Hydra Viper, Roach Hydra Viper, and then Roach Hydra.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to see. And honestly, I mean, this. Maybe not quite as high level. I mean, these are both Grandmaster players, but going and looking back at like the Scarlet Pulse series, that seemed very, very similar. Same opening from Honey Bear too, with all the queens getting the creep spread out, defending against those the Reapers and the Hellions, and then going right into that Mutalisk Ling Baneling, and you know, it made Spectre look silly, to be quite honest. And I mean that in the lovingest way, but it you know, it's so hard to deal with. As a Terran, I'm honestly not sure the best way to deal with that, because you've got so many Lings, so many Banelings, especially if you've got those upgrades. I mean, it is just rough as a, you know, mostly there wasn't really any tanks, maybe a couple and a Thor. But, you know, that was pretty much what almost every game of the Scarlet Pulse series at the end of Red Bull Battlegrounds was.
Right, and I think that's what could have made a difference in that Spectre game, is if he had added a few more tanks. It looked like it was mostly Marine Medevac, which would have been great for those Mutalisks, but they were so delayed in coming out. It was mostly the Ling Baneling, again, as you were saying, very reminiscent of Scarlet's style, which is heavy Ling Bane and just a handful of mutas. There were a lot of mutas in that game, but you know, I just feel like tanks would have been helpful there to get some shots off and stop that advance of the Lings and Banelings from just running all up on those Marines.
Yep, absolutely. But that is going to be the end of game number 4. We're going to be getting ready to go into game number 5. We're already at game number 5, which is the maximum number of games we played in a series so far. So
Yes.
the third place match turning out to be quite the exciting contest between these two great teams. We're going to take a 40-second or so break here, maybe a minute. Give us a stretch, run a commercial while these match gets set up. Everyone's in the lobby, but everyone's just getting organized here. So we will be right back in just a